Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. I was practicing pitching the other day. Not with this, but with this. I've been working on my semi-short game, which is about 50 yards to 100 yards out from the green, and I had gotten some tips from a teaching pro that I'm friendly with, who was watching what I was doing while I was hitting my pitch shots with my trusty 60-degree wedge, and he gave me an outstanding tip that I immediately, as I became aware of what my body was doing, which is something we've talked about many times, the awareness of your body when you're going through your drills. He gave me an amazing tip that allowed me to feel something because of how aware I was that I hadn't felt before. What this particular teaching pro told me was, when you're swinging your club, especially when you're hitting that kind of shot, 50 to 100 yards, you want to feel like the club head is swinging you. That you are so relaxed that the momentum of the club head going down the back of the arc of the swing almost feels as though your hands and arms are along for the ride and the club head is doing all the work. In a second, I'm going to show you how that relates to us. So what he was basically telling me was, the rhythm in that swing is basically stop, go. Stop, go. What's happening there is, when I get to the top of the swing and I stop, it's almost like a roller coaster. I remember a roller coaster that I went on or a ride that I went on years and years ago at Disney World, where they took you up and up and up and up and up and up, and you were pulled up to the top, and you thought you were going to be going down the other side, but it got up to the top, it stopped, it released, and it came flying backwards. That is pretty much what we're talking about in this swing. Up, down. Now, the point that he was trying to make, and what I was apparently doing, was I was getting up to the top of the swing and trying to force my club down to the ball, losing velocity, distance, and losing direction on where I wanted that ball to go. So in doing the drill that he gave me, the up-down drill, where I basically stopped and allowed the club head to drop and take my hands through the delivery of my club head to the ball, I became aware of how, and this is revisiting an old friend of ours called gravity, I became aware of how important gravity is to bringing that club head down and perfectly through the ball. Now, you didn't see where that ended up, but the trajectory and the distance and the ease at which I hit that golf ball was really remarkable. So he said, when you get to the top of the swing, stop there. Be nice and relaxed, and look what happens when I drop. I'm not doing anything with my arms. I drop the club. Let's take that to our ball. When I get back to the back of the arm circle, if I do my drive off the pitching rubber, I do a full arm circle, I get to the back of the arm circle. If I don't do anything now, I want you to watch how fast this ball gets to the bottom of the ground. That's pretty fast. That's a lot of velocity without me doing anything. So when I get to the top of my arm circle and I stop, the last thing I want to feel is that I am forcing with tense muscles my hand forward to deliver the ball. We've talked about this many times before, and this is the essence of forearm fire. And it's no different in that golf swing. And it's really no difference when you're hitting a batted ball. When I get to the top of the circle and I get here, I got something really, really important working for me. It's called gravity. If I just relax, I'm going to generate a tremendous amount of velocity going down the backside of the circle without doing anything. Where I start to add velocity to the ball is the last 1 to 2 feet at the bottom of my arm circle. And what is that? That's forearm fire. So when I get to the top of the circle here, I don't want to force my hand forward. I want gravity with the ball in my hand to allow my hand to drop to the back of the throw zone. Gravity's going to do that for me. I don't have to force it. And it also, without my forcing my hand forward, it keeps my ball and my hand on plane, over the power line, into the throw zone. And when I get here, that's when I add the extra whip in my lower arm. When I've already reached the back of the throw zone, when there's very little chance that my arm itself and hand will come out of the line that I need to deliver that ball with speed and command. I mean, sure, I can rotate my body. There are a lot of other things that I can do, but it's very unlikely that once I get here, that there's something, once I'm here, that I'm going to do something with my arm by adding tension and trying to force the movement that will diminish my ability to throw an effective pitch. So what are we talking about here? First of all, we're talking about something that we've talked about many, many times, and that is the tremendous similarity from one athletic movement to another. And basically, when I'm holding that golf club, my right arm is doing the exact same thing as it is when I'm delivering a pitch. If you happen to be a lefty, your left arm. When I get to the top of that circle and I allow gravity, my friend, I allow gravity to take my hand down the backside of that circle without tension, I am already establishing a tremendous amount of velocity without having to do anything extra that may diminish the effectiveness of my pitch. Gravity, right here, add some acceleration. Same thing I'm going to do with my bat. I'm going to allow gravity to take my bat head and my hands to the back of the hitting zone, and the last foot or so, I am going to accelerate that bat head down the hitting zone, and I'm going to power that ball over the center field fence. What we're talking about here is relaxation and allowing the forces of nature to help you be a better pitcher. If you follow this simple advice to the top of the circle, gravity takes over and brings you down, and you add that extra velocity right at the end of the throw zone, at the beginning of the throw zone rather, as you accelerate to the end of the throw zone, you're going to find that your consistency is going to increase along with your velocity and your command in the strike zone. I hope that this has been useful. If you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to ask. Talk to you next time.